A fresh striker link with Nottingham Forest, but does this smell of Ross Wilson? Let's find out. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news on this baking hot Friday afternoon. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the link with the Rangers striker Morelos. We'll be talking about De Gea and his shenanigans in delaying Henderson. We'll also be covering off another link to Brennan Johnson. Just go away. And plenty of other stuff as well. Before we get started, as always, please do take a quick second now. Just hit that like button, free to do. If you're not subscribed, that's also free. Hit that like button as well. And let's jump into it, and let's start with this Rangers link. Morelos has been in negotiations with Rangers about a new contract, and talks of that fell through last night. And it looks like he is set to leave Rangers and potentially join Nottingham Forest. He's 26 years old. I think he's turning 27 in the next few days, and has scored a bag load of goals for Rangers. I think he's had, let me check here, 178 games and 78 goals in total. Now, is that really a good return in a Farmers League such as the Scottish League? I'll let you guys decide. But can he score goals? Yes, he can. He was hot probably about 2 seasons ago for Rangers, really bagging them in, and has somewhat dried off. But Rangers still wanted to keep his service, but negotiations, as I've mentioned, have broken down, and he is now set to leave. Enter Ross Wilson, our current big bod from Rangers. And those connections to Rangers are getting stronger because we've got Panzo, as we mentioned, potentially going the other way for $2.5 million. We've got Mel Holland coming potentially to replace Gary Brazil. So it only makes sense that Forest start to get all buddy-buddy with Rangers on players that potentially would work for Nottingham Forest. Now, is he a player we need? Yes, we definitely need another striker. Is he prolific enough currently? I don't think so. When I put this out last night on our social medias, by the way, make sure you're following at official FFTV. Sorry, my hay fever is playing up. On both Instagram and on Twitter, and at Forest Fan TV on TikTok. And if you want to WhatsApp me, the number's there. Send us a message and we'll get chatting offline. But is he good enough? No. The response to the tweets and social posts we put yesterday was he's a bit of a fat little git, a little chubster going on, and he looks out of shape. And I do understand that, but I think looks can be deceiving. I'm sure if any of you have put on a Macron top this year, unless of course you're like me with the physique of full chiseledness, it does tend to cling quite tightly to all those little exposed corners on the body, and maybe that's the case for him. But look, overall, and joking aside, I'd take him on a free just because he's still quite young, and he'd be an okay backup. But does he smell a bit like Ayew? Does he smell like he's given up on his career? He's just going to come in for a payday? I don't know. It's not a big risk, nor is it that exciting, to be honest. I still want Forest to be linked with a proper prolific striker. If we are going to go in for a free, then for me, Moussa Dembele is the one that Forest should be linked to, and currently there's no talks of him. There's the likes of Everton who are sniffing around him, and Forest should be looking at Moussa Dembele if they want to bring in a free striker. Speaking of Everton, they are also interested in him. And it's quite funny how those teams that are in and around us from last season in terms of the transfer windows are also sniffing after the same targets that we are looking for. So I fully expect West Ham shortly to declare their interest in him, because they just seem to copy whatever links Forest get with. They suddenly have a little eureka moment, and then suddenly let's just put our names in along those players that Forest are interested in. But going back to him, guys, I can't get excited about him. I'll be straight with you. Give me a more prolific striker who's going to actually challenge Awoniyi for that number 9 shirt, rather than someone who's definitely going to come in and probably be back up to him. But what do you guys think? Get your thoughts in the comments down below on him. Okay, so sticking with West Ham, and West Ham are interested in something to do with Nottingham Forest yet again. And this time it's one of our players, and it is the player that is the flavour of the week, Brennan Johnson. They've chucked their name into the hat. And I don't know what hat people are chucking their name into, because there's been no indication for Forest are willing, or should I say that Forest are willing to sell Brennan Johnson. Yes, we know that the rough rumour talk price is 50 mil. There's no way in hell West Ham can afford that at all. So do I see any legs in this one? No. But what's interesting is looking at what's happening at West Ham, because Scamacca looks like he's going to be moved on. You've got Danny Ings being shown the door after just 6 months of being there. And therefore, they are definitely looking for an attacking force. But it's a number 9 they need more so than a right attacking winger. So I can't see this one having any legs. And would West Ham even be a step up from Nottingham Forest for Brennan Johnson? And the answer to that is categorically no. Forest are a bigger club than West Ham. Yes, Jace. Yes, Lawless. You know I'm right in exactly what I'm saying. Yes, they won the Euro Trash Cup this last season just gone, and that will put them into the Europa League. So maybe European football could interest Brennan Johnson, but not with a tin pot club like West Ham, who play in a goddamn toilet bowl. So I can't see this one having any legs. I don't see West Ham having the money anyway to stump it up. Unless, of course, they use some of the money they make off the Declan Rice sale, which looks like that may go ahead to Arsenal, or whoever he goes to is probably going to bring them in about 100 mil, there or thereabouts. So maybe that war chest is available, but would they be willing to offload 50 odd million for Brennan Johnson for it? I'd be very surprised. But more importantly, what I would like to see now is Brennan Johnson coming out. I know he's away with Wales, but I would like to see him coming out and just saying that I'm not for sale. I don't want to go. I'm happy at Forest. I love the club. I love the city. This is, where I was born and raised kind of thing. So that would be good to see. Look, he's not under no obligation to do it, but it would shut up all these other clubs that are sniffing around for one of our prized assets. But what do you guys think? Do you see any legs in this West Ham link? Because I really do not. Let me know, as always, in the comments down below. Okay, on the Dean Henderson saga, there has been more twists and shakes and turns in this one, as it looks like David De Gea will be leaving Manchester United. Doesn't seem he's happy with the cut salary price that they're offering him, and with the likes of Saudi sniffing in at him to get him across to that league. It looks like he may take that option because the money will be bigger there. What does this mean for Forest, and what does this mean for Dean Henderson? Well, Manchester United have made it clear that they're not willing to complete this transfer deal until they know what their keeper situation is for the start, for the pre-season. And with David De Gea leaving, they will need to most likely recruit a new keeper, because Henderson has his heart set on leaving, and Henderson actually has his heart set on Nottingham Forest. But the dominoes have to fall, and if this domino falls the wrong way, which it looks like it does, then Manchester United are going to have to buy another keeper. And until then, Forest will not be able to complete this signing. Now, what does that mean? Because currently Forest are not exactly blessed in numbers in the goalkeeper senior department. We got Hennessy and we got Horvath. Horvath won't want to play second fiddle, and Hennessy isn't good enough to be a number one. And I don't think Steve Cooper will want to go into pre-season without a number one signed and through the door. Therefore, potentially, will Forest have to look elsewhere for a keeper? Because this kind of smells a bit like Jimmy Garner did last season, where Forest were interested in the summer, but Ten Hag wanted to hold on and assess him first. And by the time that he decided to cross him off the assessment list, Forest had already bought about 7 other midfielders in place of Jimmy Garner, and there was no point in signing him. So what would be left in that position again? I personally still feel that Henderson is so set on being the number one, both from the Forest side and his side, that they probably will wait. But I do not like the idea of going into a pre-season without having our number one keeper in place. And let's just say Manchester United decide, with De Gea gone and the lack of funds they may currently have this summer, that they will keep Henderson and maybe give him the gloves as the number one at United. Forest do need some backup plans. And I do go back to my backup plan, which would be Livakovic. For a 9 million release fee clause, whatever it is, he would be a perfect fit at Nottingham Forest and very, very good between the sticks. I've said many times before, because he hasn't got Premier League experience and that term gets banded around all over the place. As a goalkeeper, I don't think it matters too much what league you've played in, as long as you've played in a competitive level. And especially with him, he's had a great international career as well, playing in World Cups, Euros, etc., that I don't see him as being any kind of problem coming into Forest. And technically speaking, he would be over half the price of Dean Henderson. So is it worth saving some money there? Maybe we could write off the Wood signing, the 19 million that way. I don't know. My heart is still heavily with Henderson, but if I put a business cap on, then Livakovic for me would be the right signing. But what do you guys think on this debate? And should Forest wait for Manchester United? Or should they actually play hardball with them? Should they turn around to Manchester United and give them a deadline? We need this done by X date, otherwise we're moving on. There isn't that much interest for Hendo. Now that Spurs have bought their goalkeeper, there's not many major clubs in the Premier League that are sniffing around for him. So all the cards are still in Forest's hands. And to be honest, they have been throughout this transfer, the whole period of it, because Henderson has stated he wants to go. He has cussed down Manchester United earlier on TalkSport in last season. And Manchester United have put him on the for sale list. Therefore, they have no power. So I don't understand why Forest aren't muscling a bit on this one and forcing the deal. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see what find out. But get your thoughts in down below on Dino. Moving on to the Roma winger that we brought you yesterday, the £20 million left/right/left wing back/right wing back player is actually quite high up on Forest's radar. In fact, there's talks that scouts are going out to see him, that representatives from Roma are flying into England to talk some deals. Remember though, we aren't the only club interested in him, and West Ham and Bournemouth are the other two, and I think there's one more as well. But he is a good player, and I would be very keen on getting him on board. And it does seem like this one is gathering a bit of legs in the transfer rumours and column inches that it's picking up. So maybe this could be one of the next signings that Forest bring in, as the signs are looking quite positive. But we will have a fight on our hands. 17 million for a 21-year-old? I don't think that's bad business at all, especially as he's so versatile in the positions he can play. But what do you guys think about him now that the rumours are strengthening? Would you take him at Nottingham Forest or not? Let me know as always. Alrighty, so that brings you up to date with the latest Nottingham Forest transfer news, and we are still waiting for that big juicy story of a massive link to come out that we've been promised weeks ago. So we'll keep you posted here as soon as that comes. Don't forget, we got a live stream coming up tomorrow night for you. I think it'll be about 8 p.m. I'll keep you guys posted on tomorrow's video for those of you interested in that happening. Until then, if you would be kind enough, if you haven't already, to take a quick moment, hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And good luck and enjoy the rest of the heat. It looks like it's going to be another hot weekend. Thank you for watching, and come on you Reds.